Welcome to Navajo County Connection. I'm Navajo County District 4 Supervisor Steve Williams.
Hello, and I'm Dawnafe Whitesinger, District 5 Supervisor, and today we're lucky to have Nick Lund with us.
With summer in full swing, it's time for barbecues and outdoor activities. Mr. Lund represents the track organization. Welcome, thank you for joining us.
Glad to be here.
Nick, would you tell us a little bit about the organization that you represent?
Sure. TRAX is a volunteer nonprofit group that's authorized by the United States Forest Service to build and maintain the non-motorized trail in the Apache Sitgreaves. So the trail system, the White Mountain Trail System, is 200 miles of trails for hikers, mountain bikers, equestrians, trail runners, and sometimes in the wintertime, cross-country skiers. But trail system extends all the way from the west side of Show Low through the Pine Top Lakeside area out to the Vernon area. It's a great trail system. There are people from all over Arizona that come to use this system and enjoy being in our wonderful White Mountains. One of the things that we always do is we try to give them a map of the entire trail system so that they become familiarized with it. But the easiest way to do it is for people to actually join TRAX, and we have about 400 members, and a lot of those are people from all over Arizona that come to our White Mountains to enjoy the summer. They want to be involved in the forest. They want to help take care of the trail system. It's about a 400 member organization. We have a website that's on the back of this brochure. It's www.traxwhitemountains.org. TRAX is a free organization. There's no membership fee, but we have email lists for group hikes, mountain bike rides, cross-country ski, and of course trail work. We go out once a week and work on the trail system to maintain it. Any changes to the trail system have to be approved by the Forest Service. But we supply the tools and the hard hats, and we hope everybody will chip in with some of their sweat equity and help us out. We don't try to overwork people. We show them how to build sustainable trails, and we usually work maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then at the end of it we'll have little tailgate refreshments to thank everybody for all their hard work. Great trail system, a lot of fun. It's a very social organization. Sometimes we'll go on group hikes. There's a regular hiking group every Wednesday that they'll go to different parts, not only on our White Mountain Trail system, but sometimes they even go over into New Mexico and do some of the trails there. And they announce, here's what the level of difficulty is. Our mountain bike group, we've probably got about 80 members that are on the email list. Usually it's about 15 that'll go out, and we mountain bike a lot of times the Forest Service roads to enjoy those. So TRAX is a great outdoor organization, and I'm going to put in a little plug here. There's a sister organization called the White Mountain Open Trails Association, WMOTA. That's the motorized trail system up here in the White Mountains. So there's two organizations, and we work very carefully, closely together to try to avoid interactions on the trails so we don't have trail crossings and put people in danger, anything like that. So it's a wonderful organization. One of the things that we did about 3 years ago to make this trail system one of the safest in the state of Arizona, I was talking with the president of the Navajo County Sheriff's Auxiliary, and I asked, what would you do if somebody was hurt or lost or like something like that on the trail system? He said a lot of times we'd get a 911 call, and the people would not remember the name of the trail they were on. And he said I would have to send out multiple officers, and it would literally take hours to locate people out there. So we thought about this and said, what can we do to improve the safety on this trail system? So we put up white reflective, so people can see them in low light conditions, early in the morning, late in the evening, trail marker diamonds every quarter of a mile on the entire trail system. We got a grant from Arizona Game and Fish to implement this safety system because this is public access to wildlife. We put a code on each one of these diamonds. So this one would be L39, that would be Land of Pioneers 39. We made it as simple as possible so people could remember that easily if they were out there and distressed. We recorded the GPS coordinates of every one of these diamonds, put them on the official maps. I went around and talked to all the regional emergency responders, our police, our fire, our search and rescue, even the helicopter guys that fly out of our regional medical center. And they ask, when you're out there, show us the areas that are nice and level with a horizontal takeoff, because you have to take into account the elevation sometimes. But anyway, since we put these up, all the rescues have been 45 minutes or less.
Oh, wow.
Which is phenomenal. It saves the anxiety of the people that are out there, but it also saves our emergency responders a huge amount of person power and time and expense.
What a tremendous effort and idea that was, and it helps people to, one, feel safe, and then two, in an emergency situation, helps them be identified and located more quickly. That's great.
Easily. Now, people can go on the back of this little master map brochure to our website, and they can go on the TRACS website, www.tracswhitemountains.org, and download the individual trail maps for free from our website. So our purpose is to help people enjoy the National Forest. And we don't want to charge them to do this. So that's why it's free membership in TRACS and free downloads of the trail system. They'll find that on these maps, it shows where these diamonds are, which is even really kind of a help if you're out there hiking the trail. You know approximately how far you've gone because you see these every quarter mile. I'll even tell you a little funny story. I was out turkey hunting earlier this year, and of course turkey hunting you have to be out there before sun up and sometimes after sundown, and you're hiking back and it's no moon and it's pitch black out there, and your little headlight all of a sudden will pick up this diamond from a great distance. It's very reassuring to see that little white diamond that out there in the forest under conditions like that.
It's quite a system, and you know, all of the people who participate, all of the volunteers who make that happen, that's quite a notable thing under your leadership all of these years and being able to help.
It's definitely a team effort.
Yes.
A big team effort.
Yeah.
It really is.
So I've been quite impressed by that. And thinking about the summer coming up, what are some of the things that visitors or local hikers can look forward to, or bikers, or however you recreate?
First of all, like I mentioned, we have group hikes every week. And sometimes when people are in tracks, you'll be out working on the trail crew and somebody say, let's get a hike going tomorrow. So sometimes it's spontaneous. First of all, the hikes. We have a whole group of equestrians. Matter of fact, Tracks was founded in the late 80s by the White Mountain Horsemen's Association because they knew if you have a trail system, somebody's got to build and maintain it. So that's what started Tracks many, many years ago. So they're equestrians, they're kayakers, people like to go out and camp together. All of those kinds of activities, the easiest way to do it is to join this organization. You get a monthly newsletter by email, and then you know what kind of activities are going on. One of the things, Dawnafe, that's coming up that's really going to be very, very special, on August the 13th, the second Saturday in August, at 9 o'clock in the morning, we're going to have a community-wide grand opening of a feature that's going to be a unique feature in the state of Arizona. Tracks and the Arizona Game and Fish Region 1 office partnered on this project. Years ago, where the Game and Fish office is in Pine Tap, that used to be a hatchery, a fish hatchery. 3 big tanks there. They discontinued that process many years ago, and about 4 years ago, the people in Game and Fish said, you know, we could make good use of this for the community. So they've spent the last 3.5 years revitalizing those tanks. It's going to be a display of fairly unique White Mountain aquatic animals and plants. They've built a handicapped accessible viewing platform that, like the Game and Fish office here, the parking lot's there, the tanks are right there at the end of the parking lot. So the viewing platform is right there. Track said, why don't we build a trail that will run right beside those tanks and connect to the Springs Trail of the White Mountain Trail System, which is something that the town of Pine Top had already started a committee to look at increasing the number of access points from the town to the trail system. So it will help all of the communities to increase their access points. This is the most asked for brochure on the mountain. Over the last 4 years, we distributed over 70,000 of these to our visitors, the people that want to know the trail system. So anyway, back to the event. It's going to be one where one of our supervisors is going to give a welcome to this event, which we're really appreciative of. But there'll be a short talk. One of the game and fish people that's been involved in building those tanks is going to talk about some of the animals and plants that are going to be put in there, and it's going to be a way to introduce our community to something that's really special in the White Mountains that they could do this summer for free.
And Nick, one more time, when is that event?
It'd be the second Saturday in August, August the 13th at 9 o'clock in the morning.
That's great.
Yeah, it's going to be a wonderful event. It's not going to be real long, but it's going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to be interested in knowing about.
Great, great.
Well, that's certainly important, and thinking about our community members and putting that on their calendar. So make sure you put that on your calendar,
Right.
and I hope to see you out there as I give the welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to wrap up a little bit here soon. Are there any comments that you want to leave with us, or something that you want the community to know about tracks that you haven't shared?
Well, first of all, it's a wonderful group of like-minded outdoor people. So if people come up here and they want to be involved in groups that can show them the forest, like go out on group hikes to areas that they might not be familiar with, this is a really convenient way to do it. Tracks also has a monthly meeting the second Saturday of every month. During the summer months, we meet at the large Ramada at Woodland Lake Park, and it's a potluck, usually like a potluck brunch or breakfast. At our next meeting, at our July meeting, we're going to have Pine Top Fire come in and talk about survival skills in the forest. So if you go out there, here are some things to really take into account. So we try to have the monthly meeting and make that of interest to the community. So I guess my message is join Tracks. It's a great group.
There you go, Nick. We appreciate you coming,
Glad to.
taking the time. We appreciate the organization that you represent and the 400 volunteers that are part of that organization. So when we come back, we'll be joined by Navajo County Recorder Laura Sanchez to talk about the upcoming primary elections in the region.
Welcome back to Navajo County Connection. Today we're being joined by Laura Sanchez, our county recorder. Welcome, Laura.
Well, thank you for having me.
So Laura, we have an upcoming primary election. Tell us what's different about the primary from other elections.
The upcoming primary election this year on August 30th is an open primary, so independents or PNDs or anybody who does not want to be affiliated with a party can actually go in and choose a party ballot for this election. It does not change their party affiliation. It just allows them to participate to see what candidates they would like to see move on in the primary. The primary election is just basically the elimination process within the party, because only one candidate will move on to the general ballot, and then that's where you'll see all of the party candidates on.
That's great.
So in talking about the primary and just kind of keeping the public informed, and those who may not often participate in voting, when is the primary election?
It's on August 30th this year. And it's on a Tuesday. The polls will be open as usual from 6 to 7 p.m.
And what are the different ways that people can vote?
The different ways that people can vote is there's early voting, which starts 27 days prior to an election. So for the primary, it will start on August 3rd. They can get a ballot by mail. So we have the locations here, one in Show Low, where they can go in person from August 3rd up to the Friday before the election. So they can show up Monday through Wednesday. They're open 8 to 5 here at the Show Low, the White Mountain facility, which is the 550 North 9th Place. So they can go in, and I'm pretty sure Sabrina would love the company over there, so she can get them early voted there. Plus, they can come to the recorder's office in Holbrook. We have early voting going on the whole time. They can come in 8 to 5 there, Monday through Friday. or they can contact us and we can mail them a ballot. We also have where we go out to different locations. We don't, we'll go down to White River and up north, but we don't have a certain day we'll be out here because we'll be here Monday through Wednesday during the early voting time. And our number where they could call us is 1-800-668-3867 to request an early ballot. So if they're not going to make it to the polls, they can still call us and request a ballot to be mailed.
So Laura, you touched on this, but what are the deadlines for the early ballot registration as well as the deadline for the submission of those early ballots?
Okay, to participate, I guess let me back up a little. To participate in the election, they have to be registered by August 1st. So they have to be registered 29 days prior to the election. So if they meet that deadline, then they could get a ballot mailed out to them on August 3rd. Early voting will go from August 3rd until, like I said, the Friday before the election, which I do believe is August 27th.
Somewhere right in there, it's the 26th or 27th. I'm trying to count backwards.
The 27th, but to request a mail ballot is actually the week prior to that. So I do believe that would be like August 20th.
That's great. Thank
Okay.
you. And what's the day for physical voting?
It's August 30th.
And where do people go for that?
Oh, you would go to the polling places. We have the polling places on our website. So if they go to www.navajocountyaz.gov and go to the elections, you'll see a link for polling places. In the Show Low area, we are going to have 2 polling places for the primary, which would be the City Gymnasium over on McNeil Street, and then we have the Health Department as what we've had for the last 2 elections. But anywhere else, I do believe we have Arizona, or the Pine Top Arizona Game and Fish up in the Pine Top area. I don't know all of the ones for the Lakeside area, but those are all listed on our website. So.
And what's that website one more time that people can go to if they need more information?
It's www.navajocountyaz.gov, and then go to the departments, go to elections, and then polling places.
Great.
In thinking about our past election that we previously had, it gave individuals the opportunity to utilize the new kiosk. For lack of better description, I'm not sure what it's called. And I think that's another way that individuals, when they go to the voting polls, are able to utilize. Can you just give a brief idea of what that looks like for those who haven't participated in utilizing the new system?
Yes, we have the express votes now, and we have had some people using them for the last 2 elections. I've talked to not a whole lot, but about a couple hundred that have taken advantage of it, and they really like it. But what this does is it gives you an opportunity to go to our website, see your ballot ahead of time, make selections. You could print out your ballot, or you could print out a little QR barcode, and you could actually take that to the polling place, and it just scans it, brings up your selections. You can make any changes you still want to that ballot, and then print it out, and then cast your vote. However, going onto our website does not cast your vote, so you still have to go to the polling place to actually cast your vote for the election. But yeah, the turnout of it has been very good. We've had where they've gone to different locations. Somebody from Holbrook has voted up in Indian Wells, for instance. They have taken advantage of that and are really liking it. So the convenience is getting out there and being used, and it's so awesome. I just love it.
That's great. Anything else, Laura, that you'd share with our viewers?
The one thing I would like to share also is we do have the November election also coming up. That is November 8th. So to participate in that election, you do have to be registered by October 12th. So that is the next ballot that you will see the presidential candidates on. So that's very important to get out and get registered for that. Early ballots will go out for that election on October 12th. So if you don't receive those about a week later, I would say October 10th, give us a call. I'm sorry, October 12th. Let's go
19th.
forward here.
There
Let's
you
say
go.
October 19th. Give us a call so we could get you a new ballot. So that way we can make sure those are getting back to us on time. We have our ballot drop boxes that you could drop those ballots in. Anything that we can do, just contact our office, and we are more than willing to make sure we're available to help in any way.
Thanks for all you do, Laura. We appreciate it. You and your team.
Yes, thank you.
I have a question in I don't know that how many people have participated in the last couple of elections, and certainly the presidential election is a big election. Generally, we have a greater turnout. And now we have super precincts. Can you talk a little bit about super precincts and what that allows voters to do?
Yes. What we did is, our voter turnout for the PPE election, we were probably about 50%.
You might need to explain what
Oh,
PP.
PPE is the presidential
There you go.
preference election, which was in March. That was just presidential candidates. We were about 50% on that election. However, being that independents cannot, or party not designated, anybody who's not with a party affiliation cannot participate in that. So our numbers are a little bit lower of who's eligible to participate in that election. For the May election, which was the special election for the propositions that went to the voters, our participation was a lot lower. I do believe we were around 30%. So it was a lot lower. So we are hoping we get greater turnout for the primary in August and the general, but usually we average around 50%, 50 to 60% for a presidential general. So we're hoping we get more. But the super precincts, what that did is we combined precincts that shared the same supervisor, same legislative district, same congressional district, justice of the peace, same all those same qualifications. And what we did is we combined them. And what that does is basically we have ballots that are pretty much the same except for the special districts. So we said, why are we requiring them to go just to one place? Let's give them an option to go to multiple places. They're all the same ballot. There's no confusion there. So we created super precincts because they were all identical ballots as it was. So we just made it easier to where they can go to any of those polling places.
Just makes it more convenient for the voters.
Yeah,
That's great.
it's just giving them more options. I think, the convenience is there. Now our next step will be to motivate and get people out to vote because we need to see that voter participation go up higher. So that's what we're hoping to accomplish.
And I think, I've been impressed by the county, and we're always thinking about how we can better serve the community. And this is certainly an example of that. When we talk about Navajo County and the vastness of it, that we're very rural. We're a rural community. And when you're a voter and you may be shopping or taking your children to, a doctor's appointment or whatever it might be in one part of the county and having to try to make it back to your precinct to vote can sometimes be challenging. And I know that this has been a benefit to the people who live within my district to be able to have the opportunity to vote in other precinct areas. So certainly grateful for thinking about how can we better serve community members and making it easier. Because voting is something that's very important to our rights as community members, as citizens of this nation, and being able to provide just an easy way to do it is a benefit to all of us. So thank you.
Definitely. So, yeah, it's one thing that we got to keep doing is going out and casting our vote and setting those foundations for the generations behind us too. So, it's great.
That's great, Laura. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you to each of you for joining us on Navajo County Connection. Again, I'm Navajo County District 4 Supervisor Steve Williams.
And I'm Dawnafe Whitesinger, District 5 Supervisor.
And we'll see you next time.